The views expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect those of this station.
Welcome to Insights into Northeast Michigan, a WBKB News public affairs program. Insights deals with the issues affecting those in the community, as well as Northeast Michigan and the state. And now, Insights into Northeast Michigan.
Welcome to Insights, everyone. Today I'm here at the Rogers City Theater, where we're going to be learning a little bit about the history as well as the Singing Cowboy, which is the show that they have playing right now. So when this place was first built, was the stage originally there like that?
Oh no, the seats went all the way down to where the curtain is, where the movie screen is, which is still there right behind it, although we put in a new screen last year. So we had like 600 seats in here. The first thing I did is take out about 10 rows of seats and built the stage. We also...
And that was in 2001?
2003.
Okay.
And we also installed the theatrical lighting for stage purposes and pretty much rewired the entire theater because it was pretty old wiring. It was kind of scary.
I'm sure from...
We don't want another fire in here, yeah. So we did that. And then we rebuilt the bathrooms. We put in a new heating system and basically modernized the place, but tried to preserve for example, the sconce lighting on the side. That was original from the rebuild in 1948. And
so those are original, and some of the seats are original
these seats are
too,
from
like
1948.
these are original, right?
Yep, 1948.
They've held
seats.
up nicely.
Yes, they have. These are the new seats. We put these in last year. They're a little wider for the modern audience. They have a little headrest and cup holders, so they're quite a bit more comfortable. So most people try to sit in the middle if they get here early enough.
They want a place to set their drink down while they're watching a show.
Yep. Backstage, we put in some dressing areas and storage areas and put some bathrooms in there for the actors so they don't have to run around the outside of the building in the wintertime.
Sure, that helps.
Yeah. So the really nice thing about the theater is it really is a time capsule of theaters that were built in that era in the Art Deco style with the round windows and the simple railings and so forth.
So this is pretty standard for what all of the theaters would look like at that time?
It was fairly standard, yeah. And so when I was a kid growing up in Berkeley, Michigan, we had a theater that was very similar to this. And I had people coming from, and I've looked at theaters all over the country. At that time, from the 1920s to the late 1930s, this is the style that movie theaters were made. And on each side of the lobby, they had a separate business so they could rent it out. And we've used, in fact, when we first moved to town, my wife rented the space that was a commercial space right in that theater. She likes to tell people now that where her CEO's desk is now where the men's urinals are because we've put bathrooms in there now.
Well, what did it used to be?
It was an office space and it opened from the outside, but we knocked a hole in the wall here so you could get to the bathrooms and closed up the front and put a display case. A tile work that originally in 1937 was imported from Italy.
Oh, wow.
And we could have got it from Italy. It would have taken us 4 years and about 3 times the cost.
I'm sure.
So we settled for this. And the orange stripe of tile was on the original drawings. We looked at some old pictures in the newspapers and talked to people about the color scheme and everything. When we got it, there was kind of a mishmash of limestone and brick and vinyl siding and everything. So
now this was in 1937.
In 1937 it looked pretty much like this, but then it was altered over the years. So when I bought it in 2003, we did this renovation. We did a lot in the inside first, but then we did this in 2009. So this has been here for 6 years now.
Wow.
But bringing back the original look. The marquee has always been there. We brought back the chase light effect.
Now what does that mean?
It means that when you turn the lights on, they look like they're moving.
Oh, yeah.
In the
I know what you're
daytime, it doesn't
talking
look
about.
like much, but at night, it looks like the lights are just kind of, and they kind
It
of,
looks really cool,
and
yeah.
they guide you right into the theater. They come across there, and then they go down the bottom, and it's really cool, yeah.
Have you had good response from people when they see that?
Oh, absolutely.
Does it bring back memories, I'm sure?
Oh, sure. The thing is that they don't make stuff like that anymore. It was a
No.
mechanical device that worked with a motor with a lot of little contacts on it, and nobody makes that anymore. But I found a guy in Texas who was interested in old movie marquees, and he actually made some solid state devices that we could use here, and it's been working great. That's the original box office. Of course, we redid it when we redid the front of the building, but everything is in the original location in terms
So people
of the
still
little.
come up, they'll take their ticket before they
In
go
the
inside?
summertime, in the winter, we make them come inside because it's too cold.
like it is now.
Yeah. But yeah, so we can sell them the tickets over the counter here in the
Okay,
winter
so
time.
now people will come up here
Yep.
and ask for a ticket.
Buy the tickets and yeah.
And you said the theater not only duels as a place for plays, but you show movies here as well.
Oh yeah, we do all kinds of live stuff. It was originally built as a movie theater in 1937. When I bought it in 2003, I wanted to expand the opportunities for people, just not only for entertainment options for the people and the visitors to the area, but also for the people that live here, the opportunity to learn about and grow in theater. And that's been very successful. We have a wonderful program, so many talented people around here that have an opportunity now to perform. But we also get visiting groups in here, orchestras, bands, dance groups, choirs, and all kinds of groups that we have on our stage. Again, for the benefit of the people that live in town here that otherwise wouldn't always have an opportunity to see stuff like that.
I know, in such a small town, there isn't much opportunity for that, so it's good that they have this base here.
Yeah, we're pleased about it. Yeah.
And when you say this is original from 1937, it's original as for the movie theater part, not the play theater.
That's right. Well, of course, since 1937, a lot of things have changed.
Yes.
For example, you can't show movies on reel-to-reel anymore because the distributors, the movie companies, don't make them like that anymore. They only have a digital copy. So we had to buy a digital projector to keep showing movies, or we'd be out of the movie business.
Right.
So we've kept up with the times in that respect. Originally, that was a retail space. This wall was solid here.
Just like on the other side.
On the other side, and you'd enter it from the outside with a separate door, which of course we've enclosed now. We also have an ice cream shop that we use on that side, and we serve ice cream in the summer to visitors and also people who want to attend the shows here. They can eat ice cream in the movies at night and so forth. But this wall was taken out probably sometime in the 60s, and because originally they just had a guy who was had a popcorn machine in the parking lot.
So people would be out in the parking lot, get their popcorn,
right,
walk
and then
in.
come in here with their 7-cent movie ticket.
Yeah, quite a change.
Yeah.
7 cents to
Right.
sometimes $10 to see a movie.
Well, yeah, we
Big
have the
difference.
lowest prices in the county. In fact, in Northeast Michigan, we have the lowest prices for movies. We don't charge extra for the 3Ds, and we've got the finest 3D movie system in the world.
I'm gonna have to stop by next time you have a 3D movie playing.
Oh yeah, it's great. In 1947, there was a fire in the theater, and it destroyed everything from this wall here, which is a firewall, because right above here is the projection booth, and the projection booth is surrounded by fire brick, because in the old days you had these arc lamps that could blow up and catch fire, so you had to have that protection. But this part of the auditorium
Everything behind us was
completely
gone.
burned down. This is maintained. If you look up in the rafters up here, you can see where the wood is charred from the fire, but this part was saved. And so this was rebuilt in 1948.
Who rebuilt it?
At that time, the theater was owned by the Vogelheim family, and Charles Vogelheim was a builder, had a lumber store in town, and they rebuilt it. We had a fellow here, he's in his late 90s now. When the theater was 75 years old, we had a big party and celebration. I showed a copy of the first movie that was ever shown here, This Way Please, with Greta Garbo. It was a fantastic event, and I got the man who, when he was 14 years old, he was the first guy to work in the ticket booth. He worked in the ticket booth that night.
Wow.
And, you know, he was in his late 80s at that time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was fun.
I'm sure it was.
We had old ushers here, you know.
I'm sure it was fun for the whole town, too,
Exactly.
to see that.
It was a good party. So this is the reason why I bought the theater, because it was going to close, because realistically a person can't make a living in a small town movie theater, which is why you don't see very many of them around anymore. The multiplexes have really got the market cornered because they have the business model that works. This is not a working business model. This is a hobby model for me. I'm retired. I don't need any money. I mean, money is nice. You have to, you know, maintain the place, but I don't need to make a living and support my family.
Right.
They're grown and gone, and so we're set.
Yeah. Now, could we actually go up and see the projection room to see,
Oh, sure.
to see what it looks like?
Come on up, come on up. It's the original Art Deco style, private. Now be careful coming up here. This is the new digital projector. It takes up about twice as much space.
Now, when you say new, how new? What year was it put in?
It was put in January of 2014, so
Okay,
it's
so
1 year,
very new.
1 year old. It's basically nothing more than a computer with a giant light bulb in here that runs through a series of prisms and lenses and goes out to the screen, which is 100 feet away. Crystal clear. We don't have any of the, you know, the little wavy lines or the pops that you always had with reel to reel.
Right.
So it's a wonderful picture. We also have a sound tower here that splits the sound into 9 different spectrums. So we have sound coming from behind the screen, we have sound on the side, we have sound in the back of the theater, and it's all synchronized to work with each other. So for example, if you see a scene, we just did some war movies, and helicopters come overhead. Well, first you hear them behind you, and then you hear them over the top of you, and then you see them on the screen, and the sound goes with the movement.
So that's the sound machine splitting the sound that
Yes,
way.
exactly.
Okay.
We had, the first movie we showed here with this new sound system was Robin Hood. And he shoots an arrow like right at the audience. It comes right out of the screen, and you can hear it whizzing past you, and then boom, you can hear it hit the back wall.
Yeah.
And people actually turned around to see, you know, is the arrow back there?
Technology is so neat, what they can do
It really
nowadays.
is. It's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
So
this machine is used mainly for the movies, but you do incorporate it into some of the plays, right?
well, I have the ability to run DVDs through here and other things that are on computer. So I can run things out of this machine that show on the screen during a play. In this play, for example, The Singing Cowboy, very kind of a hokey story, but upbeat comedy, a modernized version of the old cowboy movies that I grew up with, Roy Rogers and Gene Autry, you know, The Singing Cowboys. Except that it's updated with a little twist. It's fun. It's great music, really great music, and we've got really talented people singing it. A nice story, and of course the old movies always ended with the hero, you know, riding off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So I project a sunset on the screen. We open up the curtains, and the sunset is projected there, and the singing cowboy and his girlfriend walk off into the sunset, silhouetted by that sharp image of the sunset. So it's pretty cool. So we can do some stuff here in this theater that other live theaters, you know, can't do.
Because you're high tech.
Yeah, we're high tech. This is what we used to use to rewind the film.
So the film would each sit?
Yeah, we'd have a
in here?
reel in there. The film came on movie reels like this. In fact, I got one here with some film still on it, kind of dusty. But you'd stick that in there. In the old days, when the movies first came, there were 2 projectors up here. And you would start reel number 1 on the first projector, and when that got to be just about done, you'd start up projector number 2 with the second reel on it. And while reel number 2 was running, you'd rewind number 1 and put 3 on there and keep going like that.
Because to show a movie, you had several different reels to get through the whole
Oh
thing?
yeah, a normal movie would have 6 or 7 reels.
Wow. So like approximately how many minutes could a reel like this hold?
15 to 20 minutes, depending upon how, how
Wow.
much you put on there.
And you think now we have just DVDs which can hold
Oh
2-hour
yeah,
films.
it's amazing. Yeah.
So was it difficult for them to have to work that reel 1 and then get reel 2 ready and then rewind?
So I get
them?
my movies now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now flash drives as well.
Right.
It's crazy to me to just think they had all of these 6 to 7 different reels that they
Oh
had
yeah,
to keep
and 2
going and
projectors,
rewinding them.
yeah,
and-
right. But now this takes the place of all that. Nobody has that stuff anymore. If they do, all they can show is old movies.
Right, right. All right, well, thank you so much, Carl, for showing us around. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
It's been very neat to see the theater and learn the history.
All right.
And be sure to stick around right after this. We're going to be back with someone else, and we're going to be learning about the Singing Cowboy. Welcome back to Insights, everyone. I'm here with Donna Klein, who is also known as Tumbleweed Tammy. Now, tell us a little, because Tumbleweed Tammy is the name of your character in the play,
Right.
The Singing Cowboy.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what is The Singing Cowboy about?
The Singing Cowboy is a nice family, well, PG-13 for some of the jokes, but overall it's a very nice family-oriented, good-hearted story that is a throwback to an earlier age of movies, such as when we had Gene Autry doing the Singing Cowboy movies and the serialization of films that they did when people went to the movies for the whole day. So this one is the Singing Cowboy in The Trouble with Tumbleweed Tammy. And what he does is we kidnap him and we do some things. And in the end, he wins us all over to his singing ways with his charm. And we all end up not being such bad guys as we thought we were.
So what's it like to play an outlaw?
It's a lot of fun. The vernacular was a little difficult because I'm not used to saying ain't and things like that, but it was a lot of fun. And the whole cast really had a lot of fun with developing our characters, becoming outlaws and meanies, and then dealing with this guy who's constantly got a positive attitude and just trying to get you to see the best of yourselves instead of, being mean and ornery and feeling like you have to go out and rob people for a living.
Trying to get you to change your ways a little bit.
Right, right. Trying to get us to come over to the ways of good.
The good side.
Yeah.
So where did the idea come for this play? Why did you guys decide to do this one?
Every year our programming committee with Rogers City Community Theater gets together and reviews plays based on directors. So if you want to direct a play, then you bring it to the programming committee and we'll review it, and sometimes directors will review it with us and tell us, well, this is why I want to do this play, this is why I think this play will be a good fit for Rogers City Community Theater. And then we decide in September, October, what our play season is going to be for the coming year. And The Singing Cowboy was brought to us by Carl. He really liked the way it read. He thought it was funny. He listened to the music. The music is strummable, hummable. It's very country western kind of things, which is very popular in this area. And we've not done a play like that before, so we all thought, wow, this would be something different for us to do, very accessible and fun for the audience to come and see. And so we decided to go ahead with it.
And you've received good feedback from the audience so far, right?
Oh yeah, they've been having a good time. They're like, ding-danged if they didn't, So the feedback on the way out, people are smiling. They are saying that they're looking forward to possibly coming back again if they can, bringing friends with them. And we're okay with that.
Now, how much time did it take of rehearsing before you finally got all of your lines down and were ready to get on stage?
When is Sunday? I'm only kidding.
By the time it's over.
Right. But the last show will be golden. But we rehearsed for 10 weeks. The 10th week was our production week. So we started right after the first of the year and rehearsed 4 days a week, 3 evenings, and every Saturday afternoon. And by production week, when we weren't able to call for lines anymore, we were ready. And we're getting very good at helping each other out too, because the more you rehearse it without the books, the more you have to be in tune with the story. You don't have any choice but to be engaged with the story. So if somebody is a little bit not sure of what they're doing or where they're at, somebody else can help them out on stage, which has created a nice flow. So the audience isn't aware that we're sweating.
Yeah, and I've never been in a play before, but I'm sure that's true. Instead of just reading lines from a book, it does help to actually get into character by having them memorized and being able to be that character and not just reading about it.
Right, and be able to, we don't have like big accents, but if we did it in Michigan Midwestern, the vernacular wouldn't sound right. So it's all getting into that kind of flow of how the people talked and how they presented themselves to each other and what was the norms and the etiquette of the period of time in which the play is set, which is the late 1800s.
So in order to get that accent down and really get into the character of Tumbleweed Tammy, did you find yourself kind of walking around your house or in public, kind of speaking your lines or playing the character?
Oh yeah. Especially if you get together with somebody else who's in the play with you, it's very easy to fall into, well, I ain't gonna take none of that from you, partner. I reckon you just better buck up and get into the program, so and sometimes that can be a little strange around town. You're in line at the grocery store with a friend and the clerks are looking at you like you're
crazy.
What is wrong? And then they go, oh yeah, that's right, there's a play coming up.
Yeah.
We know what's going on.
You're not Donna right now, you're Tumbleweed Tammy.
Right, exactly. So
now, when did the play start?
the play opened on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Yep, and we ran Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon. And we'll do it again this weekend. We start on at 7:30 at night on Friday the 20th, and then we'll do it again Saturday night at 7:30, and then Sunday at 2 p.m.
And today, yeah, like you said, it's at 2 p.m. So if people want to come out and they still have time, do they just show up to the theater to buy a ticket?
We always have tickets available at the door because of the number of seats that we are fortunate to have in the theater. Pretty much when you come to our productions, you might not find a seat exactly where you want to sit, but there will be a place for you.
Yeah, there is. It's a huge theater in here. I wasn't expecting it to be this big when I walked in, but it's yeah, because since it is from 1937, it had to hold a lot of people for
Right,
for
there
that
was
time.
no television back then.
Yeah.
This was the place you came to be entertained.
So, and now how much are tickets?
Tickets are $12 for adults, $10 for seniors, $6 for students. We also have a season ticket package for the 3 plays that are at the theater. That's $25. And then we also offer something called a 6-pack, but it's not beer. It's a 6-pack ticket where you buy 6 admissions for $50, and you can mix and match them for any of our plays during the season.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Any of the plays, I should say, that take place at the theater. It does not include dinner theater, which is off in a different location.
Okay, and that doesn't include the movies that play here? Or does
No,
it?
no, it's only for the plays that are presented. So this year we're presenting 3 plays on stage here at the theater. This one, and then our summer youth production, which happens in August, and then in the fall we're doing a straight play called Leaving Iowa. So the tickets are good for that.
So once the Singing Cowboy is over, you'll then start preparing for the one in August?
Well, we have a dinner theater coming up in May, on May 16th, but that is not here at the theater. So while they'll rehearse here, the actual production will not take place here.
Okay, but that's still part of your
Part of
group
our
that-
season, yep. And it's a fundraiser for us because people come out and they have dinner and a show.
That's fun. What show will that be?
This year we're doing the altos, like the sopranos, only lower.
And what's that one about?
Well, it's based on the former HBO series, The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
So
I know
of
that
course
was a
there's-
very popular show.
Right, so of course there's mob involvement and who shot who, and that's part of the interactive part of the play, and people have to guess at the end, you know, who offed Tony,
Wow.
or did they?
Who did kill him? Maybe he's not
Maybe
dead.
he's not dead. So
Now with the Singing Cowboy, how many cast members are there?
I think there's about 17 in the cast. We have Tammy and her gang, and the Singing Cowboy, of course. And then we have Hannah, who is the madam who runs the saloon, and Cyrus, who is the sheriff, and a couple of the girls who work at the saloon, and a couple of the guys who are in the saloon, you know, and we have shopkeepers for the beginning part. And so with the 17 people who are in the cast, we're able to fill out all of the roles.
Now, if people expect to come to the show later today, how long does the play run normally?
It's about 3 hours, but there's a 15-minute intermission after the first act.
Okay, so people can refill their drinks and get some more snacks and
Right.
come back. All right, Donna, well, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about the Singing Cowboy. I can't wait to see you as Tumbleweed Tammy. I'm going to have to come to the show later so I can check that out.
Well, thank you so much for doing this, and we look forward to seeing you at the show.
All right, and thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next week to see another episode.
Insights into Northeast Michigan is produced by WBKB News. If you have any comments, suggestions, or topics you would like to see on a future show, please email WBKB News. This has been a production of Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved.